Ooh, who are you? What are you doing here? No one's allowed around the world, Heart.
I'm no threat.
So you say? What brings you all the way out here?
Are you responsible for the world, Heart, here?
That's what you care about? The world, Heart? What about the men sent with it? If we wither, it does too. Goliath should care as much about us as they care about that plant. But yes, what are we next to a world, Heart? Ants in history. Here we are standing by the future of Magellan, the very thing given to us in Magellan's hour of need. Maybe that's what Bourne meant. He told me being a cultivator was about learning who you are. Out here, isolated with this thing to care about, I've certainly gained perspective.
What is a cultivator?
Well, we're farmers, in the main. We grow the crops for Goliath, and we tend to the seedlings and the world hearts. The warriors act like they're the big guys, but really they're here to protect us. Warriors might get the glory, but it's us cultivators who are changing the world.
Changing the world? You just put plants in dirt.
Yeah, say that next time you eat stew or need a healing plant. Anyone can stick a sword in someone, but farming, growing, cultivating, bringing life, that takes skill. I got sent here as punishment 5 years ago.
Punished? And you say you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, masochist, aren't I? Beer, women, and fights were all that used to matter. Now, I get a kick from seeing just a few seedlings a season make it all the way to mature. I can take pride from that.
How safe is the world's heart here?
You mean with the Albs scouting out Goliath? They don't seem to register it. The World Heart mustn't be their mission, or they don't know about it. He'd kill me fast enough, though. That is, if the animals didn't get me first, or I don't eat the wrong thing and get poisoned. Still, all in a day's work.
So, you're happy out here?
Happy? I don't know. I'm not dead. But if you're offering to help, there is one thing. I've not had any supplies from Goliath. Can you get them to send someone with my food supplies?
Why plant the world's heart out here where it's in danger?
You don't understand much about our ways, do you?
So tell me.
We're changing the world with them. Wherever you plant a world heart, it extracts the Elex from the ground, pulls the poison out of the soil. It makes the soil come back to life, lets Magellan's nature return to it. So whenever we plant a world heart, life follows. The more we plant, the more of Magellan is restored. We have to plant them in places like this because it's where they make a difference. All this around us, is because of the world heart.
So where do the world hearts come from?
I don't know. They found the first ones, the first berserkers. They realized what it could do, that it fed on Elex rather than dying from it, so they started cultivating them.
Where do you get your supplies from?
Directly from Goliath, normally. Sometimes we'll get something from passing hunters, but you can't rely on that.
Why have the deliveries come to a halt?
The Alb attacks. The warlords have put all the warriors on defense and cut down on the supply runs. We're supposed to be self-sufficient out here, but with more Alb attacks and more creatures, we don't have time to grow, forage, or hunt anymore.
What do you mean the Albs don't register the world heart?
They don't come here. They bypass it, keeping their distance. You'd think they'd come straight for it, huh? It's eating Elex, and they sort of want all the Elex, don't they? Maybe they don't like the mana. The mutants here love it, but when they eat it, it makes them sick. Maybe the Albs can sense that, and they want to stay healthy.
I will ask about your food supplies.
Thank you. Cinda is probably the best person to ask. She's fierce. I mean, ball-shriveling fierce. But gets things done. I'm not asking for anything special. Just the usual supply run. Or just, well, anything, to be honest. We're hungry out here.
Won't they send you supplies?
At some point, when they remember. Trust me, you going and asking will be faster than us waiting for them to remember. Our stomachs have better memories than they have. Listen, Goliath aside, there's a plant, the cultivator's loaf. If we could collect some of that, it would help us. It grows everywhere, but we've just not had time to collect them. 4 dozen should be enough.
4 dozen?
Yes, hopefully that would last us until we get another supply run. Say, let's round it up. Can you bring me 50? It would save you a trip to Goliath.
Will the suspects talk to me?
Tell them you're investigating on Ragnar's orders. They'll answer your questions. Let me know if you need help. Remember, my sword belongs to you.
What do you want me to ask them?
Where they were 3 months ago around Mana's Eve when the crime was committed. What they thought of Ascor. I doubt you'll get a confession. I doubt any of them did it, but you'll get a sense of the men, and then you can report back to me so we can close the case.
Where can I find them?
They're all still out there. Track them down, then report back to me when you've discovered something.
Tell me, what do you know about Ascor's murder?
Nothing really. I don't hear much from Goliath out here.
So, you were here when he was killed?
Probably. I haven't been anywhere else in months. I only go back for supplies or to transport seedlings. When was Ascor killed?
3 months ago, around Mana's Eve.
Oh, then I was back in Goliath sometime around then. I've lost track, to be honest, but whenever it was, I didn't see anything.
You work here on your own?
Most of the time. That's part of the punishment. It didn't used to be as lonely. They'd send patrols out to check on us. But since the Albs started attacking, we've been left on our own out here. Yeah, I guess we're not a priority.
How well do you know Ascor?
Not at all. I mean, I knew of him, people talked about him, but I don't think I ever said more than hello to him, and he ignored me. He didn't really have time for cultivators. But, you know, people can be like that. Some value our work, others think they're superior somehow.
Do you carry a sword?
Of course. It's dangerous out here.
Do you know where they found Ascor's body?
I'm guessing somewhere in the forest, or why ask me, right?
Did you hear anything else about Ascor?
Well, I'm wondering why you're not asking me about the seedling that disappeared the same night Ascor was murdered. No one seems to be asking about it, and from what I heard, it wasn't just a seedling, it was one close to maturity. I heard it was being sent to a cultivator in the hope it could go on to Tavar or somewhere as a new world heart. But it never arrived.
I don't think you killed Ascor.
Me? Of course I didn't.
You really don't think you have a motive?
You mean the seedling he had? I'm a cultivator. I look after a world heart. I want to know what happened to the seedling he had. Why aren't you investigating where it went?
You're out here with a sword and no witnesses.
If I tried to attack a warrior with a sword, chances are you'd be planting me in the ground.
A berserker was killed. The body was found in the forest.
The forest is a dangerous place.
The berserker who was murdered was called Ascor. Did you know him?
Ascor? That asshole. Yeah, I knew him. I kept out of his way. He kissed Ragnar's ass and treated everyone else like rot-bore shit.
Sociable guy, aren't you?
Sociable just means happy to talk shit. I don't talk shit.
Do you always hunt with a bow?
A bow? Traps? You should always try and kill at a distance. Learn that and you will live longer. I'm here to feed berserkers, not the creatures.
When were you last in the forest by Goliad?
I don't know. Not for a year. This is the best area for hunting, and all Goliad cares about is me filling my quota. As long as I send them meat and fur, I can stay out here away from small talk and politics.
You didn't like Ascor.
I didn't put myself in a position where I needed to. Little shit won't be missed.
Sounds like you had a grudge.
I think most people are assholes. You only asked me about Ascor. What's with all these questions? Is some asshole trying to pin this on me?
I'm questioning anyone I meet out here.
If you want an alibi for me, you'll have to go out there and speak to the raptors.
Is that your only alibi?
I'm a hunter. You want to know where I am? I'm always here in the forest.
So, you wanna fight? This is the end for you.
Nothing to do?
What? Who are you? What do you want? Who goes there?
Are you a guard?
Oh, stop asking questions and answer them. Who are you?
You're lucky I'm not an enemy.
Well, you know, it's not like the Albs are going to attack these trees, is it? If there's one thing the Albs know we got a lot of, it's trees. And it's not like these trees do much. I mean, they're not going to run away while I'm asleep, are they? Did Master Thorold send you? Is there something important? Because if not, just go, okay?
What makes you think Thorold the Pilgrim sent me?
When he was still the big boss up there in Goliath, he used to reprimand me quite often. I wondered if he was still keeping an eye on me. Still, whatever. I've heard he's retreated into study. Let him play with his magic. I hope it does save us. And while he's away, I have my peace and quiet out here.
What do you know about Thorold's retreat?
Not much. It said that he is working on a plan to stop the Albs. It's something huge that would change the war in all of Magalan. You think it? It happens. The Albs are screwed. Just like that. No idea what it is, though. But nobody is really allowed to talk about it. Well, then nobody even really understands what he's doing anyway.
Where is Pilgrim Thorold?
Well, that is confidential. Meaning, if anyone actually knows, no one is actually saying. Maybe he will figure out how to rob the Albs of their magical strength, at least. Then good, honest warriors could go back to sleeping in nice, comfortable beds.
Now there's a future that Magalan should be fighting for. I need to ask you about Ascor's murder.
I can't tell you anything about that. Not anything that's not being said already. He should have kept his head down like me. Ambition only gets you dead. He should have picked his spot and stayed there. Why are you interested in that? Really?
You look quite strong for somebody who's just standing around all day.
Maybe. And?
Tell me what you do know about the murder.
Me? I only know what people are saying. But they thought Ascor had run away, but he hadn't. He'd been murdered somewhere out in the forest. I was out here at the time, on guard duty.
Did anyone see you? Is there anyone who can give you an alibi?
Hilda. She was with me all night. Her and Alba, and Dagny, and Erica, Freya, Garrett, Heggie, Magda. They're the trees over there. They're my girls. Very lonely out here. So no, I have no alibi.
Did you know Ascor well?
Since we were old enough to crawl, our parents were friends. We grew up like brothers.
Have you been trained to use that sword?
All berserkers are. You think I could survive out here if I couldn't use it?
Ascor's body was found near here. Did you see it?
No. I know where he was found. But no, I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't see him. I wouldn't want to remember him like that. My duties keep me here most of the time. So I stay looking after my girls, the trees, making sure they stay safe.
Where do you go when you do get away?
Nearby. Not Goliath, if that's what you mean. I tend to stay out here these days.
Where nearby?
The lift into the Valley of the Damned. That's a good place to relax. There's quite the view of the valley there. It's a good place to let your worries just drift away. I hope you find who did it.
Maybe you did it. You knew him. You don't have an alibi.
Why would I kill him? He was my friend.
Why should I believe you?
Because it sounds like you're doing something about this, like you want to find out who did it. You should start with people who had a problem with him, not his friends.
Your friend Ascor, what kind of man was he?
Well, he wasn't a simple guy. He was my friend. Our parents were friends. We basically grew up as brothers. But he was sort of ambitious, and that sometimes, well, made him an ass. Listen, it doesn't matter. Just forget what I said.
Ambition could give a motive, if he got in someone's way.
Well, don't look at me. I'm happy where I am. I don't give a troll's ass about promotion. Ugh.